So today I want to talk about being made with purpose, made with intention, that we are all here created for a reason. It wasn't an accident. It wasn't a happens chance. There's an intentional thing that we were all created for. And I think that's an important thing, because when we start off life, we're immediately come into this world and it's, what do you want to be? What do you want to do? And we associate our careers and our actions with who we are. But that doesn't always define us, because when those things get stripped away, when we lose the job, or when we have an injury and can't do the sports that has been our identity, then that's when questions come on who are we. And even as a kid, you see the kid who, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a fireman, and then the next week it's a police officer or it's a doctor, and every week or every day it seems to change. And I do recognize that other cultures, you are defined by what your parents or family or the pressures put on you by others to become the doctor or the lawyer or to get this degree. But that's pressure from someone else to say, this is who you are and what to do. And so I thought it was good just to share about the reason we are created, that there is intentionality behind who we are created to be. And when we find purpose, nothing else satisfies. When we find that meaning that we were put here to do, nothing else is worth it. You go all in for this one thing that this is what I'm called to do. This is what I am here to do. And so whether you're looking at the physical part of that in jobs, careers, possessions, money, or the more spiritual side on trying to be the most spiritual person that you can and meditating and doing all these things in the worldly possessions don't matter. There's a reason and a purpose for both the physical as well as the spiritual side of things. And where I go to get to know who I am, and it has taken me a long time and a big journey to get there, because even in university for myself, I started off saying I want to get this degree, and I had to know by my year 3, the start of year 3 out of my four years, I had to know so that I could make sure that the remainder of my years I would get the credits I need to. Otherwise, I'd be in university for much longer than I'd want to or needed to be for that one degree. And so I was looking for things that were easy. What am I natural at? What am I special at? And I started to think, like, I don't feel like I'm special at anything. I don't think that I was born with a natural gift or ability. I'm not the most athletic naturally. I'm not, the most artistic. It takes a lot of practice and a lot of work. And to be honest, especially younger, I did not have the self-discipline because I just wanted something that came naturally. For me, it was that natural gift that I felt would be my purpose or my desire or what I'd be moving into for the future. And so that's the route I pursued in who I am and my own purpose. And so I actually have a psychology degree looking at going into counseling. And I found myself actually really questioning, is that what I'm here for? Even though it was something that I was naturally good at and gifted at. I've always enjoyed talking with people. And I actually started to realize, like, I was trying to define me or by those around me telling me this is what you're good at. And it wasn't until I really got to know God that I really started to read the Bible. And in Psalm 139, I knit you together in your mother's womb. And I don't know if you know much about knitting. I know very little. Again, that's not one of my giftings. But I do know that you can't just take yarn and knit and just move without intention, without purpose. You can't knit something just out of happens chance and just putting things together. There needs to be a plan in place in order for it to come out as the hat or the scarf or the sweater that you're intending to knit. So when God says he knit you in your mother's womb, there was intentionality there. There was a reason and a purpose that he put you together how he did. And that's when I started to say, okay, God, how did you create me? I want to know what did you put in me? And I really started to look at my life and not think of the things that I wanted to do or wanted to be good at, but I started saying, okay, God, what do you want me to be good at? And for many who may be listening or watching this, you may not, believe in God. So you may believe in a higher being or nothing at all. But that's what I want to tell you, is that you weren't an accident. It wasn't happenstance, as I keep saying. It wasn't a mistake, or, it was God putting you on this earth. And we do often think of it as being a job or a chore, or, there's work that needs to be done, and I'm here with this skill and gifting. And we often forget, actually, first and foremost, God created us to love and worship Him. We are created to be spiritual beings, to come together with Him, to praise the Creator of heaven and earth, to rejoice in His majesty. And we can look around and see the skies and the stars and the plants and see the intricacies of the details that God has put. That they say no two snowflakes are the same. No two fingerprints are the same. That's how uniquely designed that we are. So if you're sitting there wondering what your purpose and destiny is, or what God is calling you into, it's about going to Him and saying, God, what do you have for me? Who am I? Who did you create me to be? And let the Creator, the masterpiece, the master planner be the one to tell you who you are. If I were to make a painting, and it wouldn't be a very good painting, if I were to make a painting and I painted it, and then all of a sudden that painting came to life and it says, I'm not a painting, I'm a drum. And somebody started hitting the drum, and the painting then got upset because it was broken, because it had been beat and battered, and it's upset. Oh, I just wanted to be a drum. I just wanted to be a drum. But it was made to be a beautiful painting to reflect the artist that made it. That's what we're here to be. And God gives us beautiful choices to pursue those things. That's where the relationship with our Creator comes into play. We're not robots. Yes, He put so many things inside of us, but His desire is to walk with us, is to point us to where the best outcome for His glory will be. But He loves the relationship and to talk through, because Scripture also says that He puts the desires and passions in our heart, that He's the one that gives the gifts of music, of arts, even of craftsmanship. In Exodus 31 and 35, it talks about how God gave the ability for the arts to build His temple, and God created us as His temple. We are created with intention, with purpose, that He has plans for us to prosper us and not to harm us. And I think that's one of the most beautiful things. And when you get that word from God, when He tells you what the phrase's original design is, you can see so much beauty in it, but also how the enemy has tried to come and steal, kill, and destroy and take that away from you. Somebody with a voice who is meant to preach and share the gospel and be an evangelist, their whole life they may be beaten down or made fun of for speech impediments, or they're not smooth talkers, and self-doubts and all these things, or people around them have made them stop talking and be quiet, because Satan knows the original design in that person and wants to squash it. But I'm here to say, to ask God to let Him tell you who you are first, not society, not the world. Nobody else but the Creator Himself can tell you what you are here for. And there is beauty in that, because when He tells you, nothing can take that away. We know who we are when we know who He is and who He created us to be. We are made in His image to reflect His glory, and His glory is also all around us for us to enjoy. And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So I hope this encourages you to know that you are not an accident, that you are here with a purpose, that God will reveal that to you, and He loves the relationship that develops through this process.